Speaking of our future, going forward, what do you envision for the agriculture industry and our farmers?
Well, Gil, you want to try that one now? Chime in after that one.
For years, before I became a senator, I was a taxpayer also, and I've heard elected officials and others that in power, if you will, talk about, like earlier I mentioned about us becoming the breadbasket, like the Big Island. We've got a lot of land there, and the Big Island can become the breadbasket of the state, and I envision if we provide an emphasis on doing exactly that and making it a reality rather than the rhetoric that we've heard and we say and we do with cheap energy and like, for example, geothermal and consistent water sources. I envision, and with world events that have occurred recently, and the public's awareness of what can happen if we import all of this food, that we're 85% of the food, that we should move in that direction. That's what I envision, that there will be a greater awareness and move towards Hawaii becoming, sustainable.
The governor had a vision for sustainability and energy security in his message, when he got elected. I think that's a vision we should all embrace as well. I think, you're looking at Gil and I and the governor, three old guys, that, when we grew up, there was a lot more agriculture around, and there was a lot more food grown in the islands. We had more a beef industry that was there. You had a whole lot of things, including, we raised chickens and all of those things. Right now we're down to maybe 2 dairy farms, as opposed before there were maybe at one time, maybe almost 10, I thought. It was kind of large. But now the milk that we get, from like Medigold and the others, they come aboard the Matson containers, and they're all shipped over, and they get continue to be processed there. And so what we're drinking is mainland milk. But there are 2 dairies here. One of them, I think they sell it as Island Fresh. You could go to the stores and buy them, Island Fresh. But again, the cost for locally grown food tends to be slightly higher. I think the public itself has to make a decision that in order to have the future we want and sustain the kind of the farming that we want, we need to be able to willing to pay not just for cheap food, but nutritious food and food that sustains our local economy. Eggs, you hear the commercial, right? More better. For that one, Kelly, I guess it is. But it's a real struggle for farmers these days, and we're trying to help them every way we can.
So how would you encourage our residents to support our agricultural industry?
I think buying local, buying the products,
and be willing to pay a little bit more, and support. But that you would support the farmers, but that extra dollar that you spend helps the whole state. And I know Chairman Nishiyama mentioned earlier about Zippies, and buying local. I would put in a plug for Calais Eggs. I gotta say that they provide the best eggs. You talked about dairy farms. They were down to 2 farms. I think there's only probably one of the last egg producers on the island. In the state. And I'm a believer. If I have a choice between buying local, I would buy local and pay a little bit more. And I feel safe about doing that,
So with that, right, the message is buy local and support our local agricultural industry.
Exactly.
Right. So thank you, senators, for coming on Senate Spotlight today to discuss the future of our agriculture industry. And it'll be interesting to see how things work out for the rest of the session.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And we thank you for watching Senate Spotlight. And don't forget, you can connect with us on Facebook at Hawaii State Senate and on Twitter at Hawaii Senate. And see you next time.
Okay.
Good job, Clarence.
Good job there. I thought so.